So in my previous class, I have discussed the rectangular components of vector in 2 dimensions. That is resolution of vector into 2 rectangular components along 2 mutually perpendicular directions. I have discussed how a vector can be expressed in terms of its rectangular components and unit vectors along the coordinate axis. As I told you, if a vector a bar lies in the xy plane, then it can be written as a bar equal to I cap into ax plus j cap into ay. I cap is unit vector along positive x-axis, j cap is unit vector along positive y-axis. If b bar is another vector which also lies in the xy plane, a similar way vector b bar can be written as I cap into bx plus j cap into by. Now I am going to discuss to find the sum of 2 vectors in terms of their rectangular components or addition of vectors in terms of their rectangular components. Let us consider a vector a bar which lies in the xy plane. Yx is x-axis here, y is the y-axis. Which acts as shown in the figure. So to find the 2 rectangular components of this vector by the graphical method, we proceed like this. Drop a perpendicular from tail of the vector a bar on x-axis. Drop a perpendicular from head of the vector a bar on x-axis. Let n be the foot of the perpendicular dropped from tail of vector a bar on x-axis. Let capital M denote the foot of the perpendicular dropped from the head of the vector a bar on x-axis. So length of the line between the points n and m on x-axis we call projection of the vector a bar on x-axis or component of the vector a bar along x-axis. That is length of the line nm, we write ax, which represents the rectangular component of a bar along x-axis. Similarly, you can drop a perpendicular from tail of the vector a bar on y-axis. Next, drop a perpendicular from head of the vector a bar on y-axis. Of course, you can draw better by using a scale. Let us call this point as C and this point as D. That means C is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from tail of the vector a bar on y-axis, and D is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from head of the vector a bar on y-axis. So length of the line CD gives you the projection of the vector a bar on y-axis. or component of vector A bar along y-axis, denoted by AY. Let us suppose another vector B bar also lies in the xy plane. Both the vectors A bar and B bar correspond to the same physical quantity. That means both vectors may be displacement vectors or the two vectors may be two forces or the two vectors may be two velocities. That means two vectors corresponding to same physical quantity. Only then we can add the two vectors. Let us suppose the tail of the vector B bar is attached to the head of the vector A bar. In the similar way, you can find the rectangular components of the vector B bar along x and y axis. You can drop a perpendicular from head of the vector B bar on y axis. Drop a perpendicular from head of the vector B bar on x axis. Let us call this point as P and this point as E. That means the length of the line between the points M and P on x axis gives you the projection of vector B bar on x axis or x component of the vector B bar denoted by Bx. Here D is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from tail of vector B bar on y axis and E is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from head of vector B bar on y axis. So length of the line between the points D and E on y axis gives you the component of vector B bar along y axis denoted by By. So we can apply the triangle law of vector addition here as I discussed in the earlier classes. In the triangle law of vector addition, if two vectors A bar and B bar are represented graphically along the two sides of a triangle taken in the same order, means head of vector A bar attached to the tail of the vector B bar, and the third side of the triangle taken in the reversed order represents the vector sum or resultant of A bar and B bar. So you can join the tail of the first vector A bar with head of the second vector B bar. So this director line segment represents the vector sum of A bar and B bar. So which we denote it by R bar. By similar procedure, we can find the two rectangular components of the resultant vector R bar. That means here tail of the resultant vector coincides with the tail of the first vector A bar. The head of the resultant vector coincides with the head of the second vector B bar. Therefore, the length of the line between the points N and P on x-axis gives you the x component of the resultant vector denoted by Rx. The same way, if you drop a perpendicular from tail of the resultant vector r bar on y-axis that coincides with the foot of the perpendicular drop from tail of a bar on y-axis. That means C is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from tails of the vector a bar and r bar on y-axis. Similarly, E is the foot of the perpendicular dropped from head of the resultant vector on y-axis. So length of the line CE gives you Ry, means y component of the resultant vector. We can observe that from the figure, the length of the line NP can be written as NM plus MP. That means we can write Rx equal to AX plus BX. That means from here to here in the figure, this gives you AX and this length gives you BX. This length gives you Rx. The same way, you can write the length of the line CE equal to CD plus DE. The length of the line CE gives you Ry, that is the y component of resultant vector. The length of the line CD gives you AY. And length of the line DE gives you BY. That means this length in the diagram gives you AY and this length gives you BY. And this length from here to here gives you Ry. So here we can write the vector a bar can be written as I cap into AX plus j cap into AY. And vector b bar, which also lies in the xy plane, can be written as I cap into BX plus j cap into BY. Of course, it is understood that I cap is a unit vector along positive direction of x-axis and j cap is a unit vector along the positive direction of y-axis. In the similar way, the resultant of the two vectors a bar and b bar, which is denoted by r bar, can be written as I cap into Rx plus j cap into Ry. If r bar represents the resultant of a bar and b bar, means r bar is the vector sum of a bar and b bar, then we can write a bar plus b bar equal to r bar. Just as we have written a bar as I cap into Ax plus j cap into Ay. In the similar way, the resultant vector r bar can be written I cap into Rx plus j cap into Ry. So we can write Rx equal to Ax plus Bx, Ry equal to Ay plus By. That means x component of the resultant vector is the algebraic sum of the x components of the two vectors a bar and b bar. Y component resultant vector is the sum of the y components of the two vectors. So we can substitute here Rx equal to Ax plus Bx, Ry equal to Ay plus By. Therefore, resultant vector a bar plus b bar can be written as I cap into Ax plus Bx plus j cap into Ay plus by. So to find the magnitude of the resultant of A bar and B bar, or we write modulus of R bar, we can write it as under root of Rx square plus Ry square. Again, here also can write Rx equal to Ax plus Bx, Ry equal to Ay plus By. Therefore, magnitude of the vector sum of A bar and B bar can be written as under root of Ax plus Bx whole square plus Ay plus By whole square. Of course, the same discussion can be extended for addition of any number of vectors. Suppose if R bar is the vector sum or resultant of three vectors A bar, B bar and C bar, then we can write Rx equal to Ax plus Bx plus Cx. Cx x component of third vector C bar. And similarly, Ry can be written as Ay plus By plus Cy. That means the rectangular components of the resultant vector can be found by adding the corresponding rectangular components of the component vectors along the coordinate axis. In the figure, I have shown the resultant R bar of the two or three vectors that lie in the xy plane. Then graphically, I have shown the two rectangular components of the resultant vector along x and y axis as shown in the figure. Let theta denote the angle made by the resultant vector R bar with the positive direction of x axis. So from the figure you can write tan theta equal to length of the side opposite to theta divided by length of the side adjacent to the angle theta. So length of this side gives you Ry. Length of this side gives you Rx. So tan theta can be written as Ry by Rx. Of course, Ry can be written as Ay plus By if R bar is the resultant of two vectors only. If R bar is the resultant of three vectors, A bar, B bar and C bar, then Ry can be written as Ay plus By plus Cy. And Rx you can write Ax plus Bx plus Cx. So next we are going to discuss some problems based on the addition of vectors in terms of the rectangular components. Particularly this method we use to find resultant of number of displacement vectors, or we follow this method even for finding the vector sum of number of forces acting on a body. Of course, the conclusion can be extended for three-dimensional case also. That means if you consider the vectors in three-dimensional space, then z component of the resultant vector can be written as Rz equal to Az plus Bz plus Cz. Of course, but at present, the applications which I am discussing mostly all the applications which I am going to discuss, they are based on the coplanar vectors. That means we discuss those problems where the given vectors lie in a single plane. And in some problems based on calculation of the net displacement or calculation of the resultant velocity, sometimes you are mentioned the direction of the vector in terms of the angle made by the vector with a specific direction. For example, if you consider a problem with vectors lying in the horizontal plane, that is about the direction towards your left is the east direction. The direction towards, the direction towards your right is the east direction. The direction towards your left is the west direction. The north direction. In this way. But remember that this figure is in the horizontal plane. That means to understand the figure, you have to draw the figure on a paper showing these directions, east, west, north, south. Keep the plane of paper horizontal. Otherwise, you may have confusion because the plane of the screen which you are seeing on the computer is not horizontal. It's in the vertical plane. Suppose if a vector A bar lies in the horizontal plane, makes an angle of 30 degrees with the east direction. Then we mention the direction of vector A bar in this way. Direction of A bar is 30 degrees north of east. When we write of east, it is to understood that this angle is made with the east direction, inclined towards north. Suppose if you have another vector B bar that lies in the horizontal plane, making an angle of 30 degrees with the north direction, inclined towards east. Then we write direction of vector B bar is 30 degrees east of north. Of north means the angle is made with the north direction. Another example let us take. If a vector C bar lying in the horizontal plane, suppose makes 37 degrees with the west direction, then direction of vector C bar (37 degrees south of west) of west means this particular angle is made with the west direction and inclined towards south. Suppose if another vector D bar which lies in the horizontal plane makes 45 degrees with east and 45 degrees with south, then we can say that direction of vector D bar is towards southeast. When we say the direction of vector D bar is towards southeast, that means we don't mention angles here. It means it is 45 degrees with east direction, 45 degrees with south direction. Suppose if there is another vector E bar that is opposite to vector D bar, which also lies in the horizontal plane, making 45 degrees with north and 45 degrees with west. Then we can say that vector E bar is directed towards northwest. Towards northwest means 45 degrees with north and 45 degrees with west. Now we are going to discuss some problems based on finding the resultant of vectors that lie in the same plane. So before I discuss problems, I would like to once revise my earlier discussion about addition of vectors in terms of their rectangular components. If R bar is the resultant of two vectors, A bar equal to AX I cap plus AY J cap, and B bar equal to BX I bar plus BY J bar, then Rx equal to AX plus BX and Ry equal to AY plus BY. That means the x component as resultant vector is simply sum of the x components of the two vectors A bar and B bar. The y component of the resultant vector is equal to the sum of the y components of the two vectors A bar and B bar. So we can write A bar plus B bar equal to R bar. And R bar can be written as Rx I bar plus Ry J bar. We can write Rx equal to AX plus BX and Ry equal to AY plus BY. So A bar plus B bar can be written as AX plus BX into I bar plus AY plus BY into J bar. Magnitude of the resultant of A bar and B bar, or magnitude of R bar, can be written as square root of Rx square plus Ry square. Here we can substitute Rx equal to AX plus BX, Ry equal to AY plus BY. So we can substitute here Rx equal to AX plus BX and Ry equal to AY plus BY. So magnitude of resultant of A bar and B bar we can write under root of AX plus BX whole square plus AY plus BY whole square. So Rx you can write R cos theta, Ry equal to R sin theta. Here theta is the angle made by the resultant vector R bar with the positive direction of x-axis. So tan theta can be written as Ry by Rx. Now look at the problems on the screen. Look at the question number 21. Find the angle made by the resultant of two vectors A bar equal to 3.464 I bar minus 2J bar and B bar equal to minus 1.732 I bar plus J bar with positive direction of x-axis. If you want to try, you can take a pause and try the problem yourself. Otherwise, look at the solution of the problem. So you are given that vector A bar is equal to 3.464 I bar minus 2J bar. And vector V bar equal to minus 1.732 I bar plus J bar. We are asked to find the angle made by the resultant of the two vectors A bar and B bar with the positive direction of x-axis. So you can compare the vector A bar with the standard form AX I bar plus AY J bar. So you get AX equal to 3.464, AY equal to minus 2. Similarly, can compare the vector b bar with a standard form b bar equal to bx I bar plus by j bar. So you get bx equal to minus 1.732, by equal to 1. So if r bar is the resultant of the two vectors a bar and b bar, then we can write rx equal to ax plus bx. That is ax equal to 3.464, bx equal to minus 1.732. Can simplify this. You get 1.732. That means 1.732 is the value of root 3. So you get rx equal to root 3. Similarly, you get ry equal to ay plus by. Here ay equal to minus 2, by equal to 1. So you get ry equal to minus 1. So resultant of a bar and b bar means a bar plus b bar can be written as r bar. This r bar can be written as rx I bar plus ry j bar. Means you can write r bar equal to root 3 I bar minus j bar. So if theta is the angle made by the resultant vector r bar with the positive direction of x-axis, and if the a bar and b bar lie in the xy plane, then the resultant vector r bar also lies in the xy plane. In that case, we can write tan theta equal to ry by rx. So here we got ry equal to minus 1, rx equal to root 3. So we got tan theta equal to minus 1 by root 3. That means tan theta is equal to minus tan 30 degrees. That means the angle theta made by the resultant vector with a positive direction of x-axis will be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees or 150 degrees. So that is the answer. So the angle made by the resultant of a bar and b bar with a positive direction of x-axis will be 150 degrees. If you want, you can take a pause and copy the solution. So look at the next problem. A particle will read, I will read the problem now. I am going to read the next problem, that is problem 22. The particle moves 10 meter towards east, comma, 10 root 2 meter towards northwest, and then 5 meter towards south in the horizontal plane. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement of the particle. We can look at the solution of this problem. So I'm going to solve the problem number 22. It's given that the particle first moves 10 meter towards east, next 10 root 2 meters towards northwest, and then 5 meter towards south. And you're asked to find the magnitude of the resultant displacement of the particle. So in such problems, we try to choose a coordinate system. So all the given displacements are in the horizontal plane. So I choose the horizontal plane in which the displacements take place as xy plane. For convenience, I choose the horizontal direction towards east as positive direction of x-axis and horizontal direction towards north as positive direction of y-axis Of course, the horizontal direction towards west will be the negative x-axis. The horizontal direction towards south will be the negative y-axis. The first vector has a magnitude of 10 meter and directed towards east. So I can write the first vector, displacement vector, as S1 bar, which acts towards east. That means along positive direction of x-axis. So in vector form, S1 bar can be written as 10 I cap meter, but its component along y-axis is 0. That is 0 j cap meter. The second displacement vector has a magnitude of 10 root 2 meter and directed towards northwest. The magnitude of the second vector is 10 root 2 meter directed towards northwest. That makes 45 degrees with the west direction and 45 degrees with the north direction. You can resolve this second displacement vector into rectangular components towards north and west directions. So this component of the second displacement vector directed towards west will have a magnitude 10 root 2 meter cos 45 degrees. That will be equal to 10 root 2 into 1 by root 2 or 10 meter. The other rectangular component of second vector, which is directed towards north, can be written at 10 root 2 meter sine 45 degrees. That you can write 10 root 2 into 1 by root 2 meter or 10 meter. That means the second vector has a rectangular component of magnitude 10 meters towards north, means along y-axis, and has a rectangular component of magnitude 10 meters towards west. That is a negative x direction. Unit vector in the positive x direction denoted by I cap. The unit vector in the negative x direction will be written as minus I cap. So second displacement vector S2 bar can be written as minus 10 I cap plus 10 j cap meter. We have put a negative sign for x component of second vector because it is directed towards negative x-axis. The third displacement is 5 meter towards south. Let S3 bar denote the third displacement vector, which is directed horizontally towards south. It has a magnitude of 5 meter. It is direct along negative axis. As I discussed in the past, If a vector is directed parallel to y-axis, then its rectangular component along the x direction will be 0. Therefore, S3 bar you can write 0 into I cap plus minus 5 into minus j cap meter. So resultant of the three displacement vectors are denoted by S bar. You can write S1 bar plus S2 bar plus S3 bar. So adding the corresponding components, you can write 10 plus minus 10 plus 0 into I cap plus 0 plus 10 plus minus 5 into j cap. Of course, the units are in meters here, whether I mention or don't mention. So resultant vector S bar can be written as 0 I cap plus 5 j cap meter. So the resultant vector is directed along positive y-axis because j cap is the unit vector on the positive y direction. The resultant vector has no component along the x direction. So answer can be written as, answer for the question number 22 is 5 meter towards north. We follow similar procedure for all such questions. If you want to copy the solution of this problem, you can take a pause and copy down the solution. So look at the questions 23 and 24, which are of same model, but we are going to discuss them for practice. If a particle is subjected to successive displacements in a horizontal plane, find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement of the particle in each of the following cases. Question number 23, 10 meter towards east, 20 meter 30 degrees west of north, and 10 root 3 meter towards west. That means the particle first moves 10 meter towards east. Next it moves 20 meters in the direction 30 degrees west of north. And finally it moves 10 root 3 meters towards west. If you want to try the problem, you can take a pause and try the problem. I will show 24 also. Now, the 24th question, the particle first moves 10 root 3 meter towards east. Next it moves 10 meters in the direction 30 degrees north of west. And finally it moves 10 meters towards north. So if you want to try these problems yourself first, you can take a pause and try these problems. Otherwise, well, here the particle first moves 10 root 3 meter towards east. Next moves 10 meters in the direction 30 degrees north of west. And finally moves 10 meters towards north. You have to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement of the particle. You can solve this problem also by the same procedure as we have done the previous problems. If you want to try, you can take a pause and try this problem. Then next, look at the question numbers 25. A man walks 2 kilometers towards east, 4 kilometers towards north, and then 4√2 kilometers towards northeast. Find the net displacement produced. Come on, take a pause and try the problem yourself. So the answer for this problem, you will get 10 kilometers. You can copy down the answer. Again, repeat 10 kilometers in the direction 37 degrees east of north. Next, I am going to show you some more questions of similar type along with answers, which you can try to do them yourself first. In case you don't get the answers or you need explanations, you can see the next class. The next class will be completely for discussion of these questions. And those who got the answers, they can skip the next class and they can directly go to the later class here. You see the questions 26 and 29, 26 to 29 are of same models. A particle is subjected to the given displacements. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement of the particle in each of the following cases. Question number 26, 10√2 meters towards northeast, next 10 meters towards west, and 10 meters in the direction 30 degrees north of east. Can take a pause and try this problem yourself. Answer is 10√3 meters in the direction 30 degrees east of north. Next question 27. The particle first moves 5 meters towards east, 12 meters towards north, and 4 meters in the direction 23 degrees west of south. For this problem, you have to take sine 23 degrees equal to 5 by 13. You can take a pause now and try this problem yourself first. You are supposed to get the answer as 9 meters in the direction 23 degrees east of north. Next question 28. The particle first moves 10√3 meters towards north, 10 meters in the direction 30 degrees west of south, and finally 10 meters towards west. You can take a pause now and try this problem yourself first. Answer is 10√3 meters in the direction 30 degrees north of west. Then next you can see that question number 29. The particle first moves 10 meters towards east. Next it moves 10 meters towards northwest and 5√2 meters towards south in the horizontal plane. You have to find the magnitude and direction of the resultant displacement of the particle. You can take a pause and try this problem also yourself first. The answer is 5√2 meters towards north. So in the next class, I am going to discuss these problems. Those who are able to get all the answers, they can skip the next class and go to the other class, next one. Otherwise, you can look at the solutions of these problems in my next class.